One of the most personally influential science fiction novels I've read has to be Orson Scott Card's Ender's Game. I'm not the only one who thinks so. It appears on list after list of must-read books. It's assigned reading in many high schools, and the U.S. military requires it in some of its branches for promotion. Why is this? Well, first, it's masterfully written. Despite his other problems, and we'll get to those later, Orson Scott Card is wonderful at telling stories. His descriptions never go on too long, but they always evoke the idea that he wants to get across properly. His characters are complex. There's no one who is truly evil or truly good, not even Ender. His work has a spiritual and philosophical underpinning that is very strong and asks questions that need to be discussed. They can't just be dismissed. His other works, like The Tales of Elven Maker, are also very good at evoking the ideas that children and adults need to consider. For those of you who haven't read Ender's Game, and you should, I won't spoil it for you. It follows the adventures of Andrew Ender Wiggin at age 6 when he's taken to a place called Battle School up in orbit around the Earth, where he is trained to become a Napoleon, along with dozens of other children roughly the same age. In some ways, it can be considered a boarding school book, as it follows his experiences from ages 6 to 12, with only once being able to go back to Earth and spend time with his family. Although it sounds like it's for children, the themes it discusses are much more appropriate for young adults and adults. This is one of the reasons why it's required reading in so many places. The fundamental morals of the story are complex, and they require a lot of discussion and thought. Ultimately, though, they should be uplifting, and that they're generally positive. Myself and my friends and my family all love this book very much. This is one of the great books of the 1980s. It is well written, well executed, and extremely interesting. However, and this is important, Orson Scott Card has always been a bit of a crank, and he has become some sort of cartoonish parody of what he once was, which wasn't that great to begin with. He used to be a communist. I don't know if he still is. He's rabidly anti-homosexual, which he always has been and still is. His ideas on most things vary from psychotic to downright evil. I cannot honestly recommend spending any money on this book that will get back to Orson Scott Card. The movie, on the other hand, goes to a lot of different people. If you want to see the movie, go ahead. What I do recommend, so no money goes to Orson Scott Card, is to make sure that you buy this book used. This book has been so widely read and widely loved that you'd be hard-pressed to find a used bookstore where it isn't in stock. Go to your favorite one and support them while not supporting Orson Scott Card. This has been Joseph Cadotte for Old Sins Reviews, High School Edition, Ender's Game.